Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is Global MF Michael Fletcher with Anthony the Hitman Florio and the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson. We probably will get Michael Bullock later on. We'll wait and see, but we're not going to waste any time. SmackDown Live and the RWA Dynasty review here for you guys here tonight. And there might be some other stuff I might add along the way, but we'll see. I'm going to try to get this done and as quickly as possible, guys. So please do not be long with your comments because I need to work at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So just a word of advisement for you guys. So we started it off SmackDown Live with a scathing promo by Samoa Joe that brought out Daniel Bryan. Also, Big Cass decided to show up. And, well, it was a very powerful segment, to say the very least. Unfortunately, what the dream fight that we were supposed to have, which was supposed to be Joe versus Daniel Bryan one-on-one, some way, somehow, Big Cass has interjected himself into it, and now he is going to get a shot. And, he's going to get an opportunity. So, therefore, the gentleman, I guess he spoke to Paige, and now it is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass versus Samoa Joe in the main event of the evening, a triple threat match. Winner goes to Money in the Bank. Ugh. You had to pull the rug out from under us, didn't you, WWE? You had a dream fight right at your fingertips, and you had to bring the 7-footer into it, and now there goes the neighborhood, and there goes possibly our fight of the night. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But this is good. I love the intensity. I love the fire. I loved everything that happened in the with everything going on. But dude, it just, man, I feel like if it would have been just Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe straight up one-on-one, dude, this was going to be serious. Joe went there on Daniel Bryan. He went after Bree. He went after Birdie. Those are two major no-nos you don't do. You don't go after the wife. You don't go after the kid. You know that. That is a major one-on-one major no-no in the Brotherhood. You don't go after another man's woman, and you don't go after kids. Those are supposed to be off limits. But Samoa Joe went there. He poked the bear and fired up Daniel Bryan. And then Big Cass showed up, basically, saying that he's medically cleared. He's ready to go. And that he was going to be in he was going to be in the Money in the Bank qualifying fight later tonight. Well, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's all yours, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you what, Meth. I mean, we had a feeling that was going to happen. I mean, we had a feeling that Big Cass was going to be added to this some way, somehow. And, hey, at least this is better than him getting involved and ruining the match and ruining Bryan and Joe altogether. So at least you don't have to worry about any BS interference on that. But without question, I got to say, this was the segment of the night. I mean, Cass is an excellent heel, and it was hilarious watching him absorb all the heat as he held the briefcase following his beatdowns of Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan. As for Paige, I love her as general manager, and I love how she put her foot down while still giving Cass his fair shot. So you said it all, MF. The intensity was amazing. Great way to start the show. What ended up being a loaded show here tonight. So really nothing more to say on that. So Didi Woodson, come on in and let's try to, move it along here so we can get MF on out of here.
Yeah, I kind of need to get out of here pretty quickly too, since tomorrow is the last day of school. Yeah, it was a very good segment to start the show with. Having Joe come out, showing exactly what his authority was. So um, and what his intent was. Um, Big Cass did a very bad job faking the injury as he's walking out there. For one, the crutch was way too short for his big frame. So you could pretty much kind of tell when he came out there that he was faking it. But yeah, it was a very good segment to start off with. And, even the backstage segment afterwards, very, very well done, especially with Paige announcing that he was officially going to be a part of that match later in the night. So, not much more I had to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, the first fight of the night we had was Shinsuke Nakamura going one-on-one with the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Nakamura wins in 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Anthony Floyo, give me your thoughts. I thought this was not bad of a fight. Probably better than even I expected it to be.
2.5 to 3. That's my rating. This was a very fun match. I suggest you watch it. I mean, this was a very good way to start off what I thought was a loaded edition of SmackDown Live as far as in-ring competition is concerned. And Dillinger gave Nakamura all he could handle, but you knew Nakamura was going to win the match. But hey, at least they made Dillinger look good in defeat. I mean, they could have had Nakamura bury him, but no, they actually made the match competitive, which I thought was a great idea. That was a smart move. And I mean, to sum it all up, this was a lot of fun. Watch it. One of the top fights of the night, 2.5 to 3. So D.D. Woodson, your thoughts? Third best fight of the night, by the way.
Yeah, I'll go 2.5 stars on it. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about, but it was pretty good. It was at least entertaining. Nakamura did a very good job playing the heel here, and counting his 10 count on Dillinger. So not much more I have to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll give it about the 2.5 to 3. I thought this was a good match. It was solid for what it was worth. It definitely brought the house down. I definitely thought when you see Dillinger versus Nakamura on paper, you're thinking, ugh, this should be easy for Nakamura. No, they actually did a really decent job with this. So, really nothing more to say about that. All right. I'm gonna do a bypass here. I'm gonna save you guys the time for this one. There was a dance off between Lana and Naomi. You don't have to cover this, guys. I already know this will go easily south of the border, and I don't want to bring the level down. So we're just gonna go, and we're gonna go into the next thing, which was a 6-man tag team fight. The New Day versus the Bar and the Miz, and the New Day wins it at 10 minutes and 32 seconds. So, D.D. Woodson, give me your thoughts about this fight.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing you didn't have us cover the last one, because I probably would have been ranting on it, because that's my pet peeve, that they bring this kind of crap back. But as for New Day and the Bar, I really did think this was a very good match. I think it went like a little over 12 minutes long. It was very, very well done. Kind of surprised the Miz and the Bar worked really well together. In the end, of course, Big E getting the pin on the Miz. I'm going to give this probably 3 to 3.5. I thought it was a really good match. As far as match of the night, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between this one and one other one. So I guess I toss it back to you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this was a very good match, a solid fight to say the very least. I could give this about a 3-star rating. I think it was definitely better than expected. Again, the New Day, the Bar, and Miz worked very well in this situation. I think it was very solid fight. Definitely a lot better than I would have expected it to be. And I could easily call second best fight of the night. No doubt about that. So, Anthony, it's all yours.
I disagree. This was the fight of the night for me. 4 stars.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I don't know what kind of match you were watching, guys, but from my perspective, this was 4 stars easy. I mean, how do I spell this out for you guys? Go out of your way to watch this, because this was incredibly entertaining and one of maybe even the best tag matches on television in 2018. Did you see the sequence in this fight? I mean, the moves, just amazing. This was a spot fest. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This was almost as exciting as that Lucha Libre match I saw on Impact a few weeks ago. And I gave that 4 stars as well. So one of the rare times I disagree here. I got to go on my own here. I got to be the man who tells it like it is. I don't impress easy, but oh my goodness, this was amazing. So go out of your way and watch it. That's all I can say on that. Contrary to what MF and Didi believe, this was the fight of the night for my taste. Solid 4 stars. Absolutely well done. All 6 men brought it. Well done. That's all I can say on that. Job well done, you guys. Awesome.
Well, Anthony, I did say it was a debate between this one and one other one on the match of the night. So,
of course.
But yeah, that's why I said 3 to 3.5, because it was a very strong match. So
absolutely. But it was a solid 4 for me. This was the fight of the night, definitely for me. So
all right,
nothing more to say, man.
We'll move on. We will move on, and the next thing we had was Asuka going one-on-one with Mandy Rose, and Asuka wins the bout in 7 minutes and 42 seconds. You know what? I'm going to say this. Yes, Asuka wins. Yes, nothing surprising here. But Mandy Rose got some surprising offense on her. It was a little more I'm gonna say this. This was a little more surprising for me that Mandy got a lot more offense in this fight, and it didn't look like Asuka was that monster, powerful, what you expect Asuka to be. But then again, we'll leave it at that. Nothing amazing, but it was a solid fight. So I could easily give this about maybe 2 stars. I thought it was all right for what it was worth. So, Anthony, I'll give it to you.
I think you underscored it a bit, MF. I'm giving this about 2.5 to 2 3/4. I got to be honest with you. Yeah, it was nothing special, but this was solid. And Mandy Rose continues to improve noticeably. And Asuka remains one of the smoothest submission experts in all of professional wrestling today. So I'll say the sleeper fight of the night for me. I mean, I thought Asuka was going to probably squash her in like 2 minutes, but no. Just like with the Dillinger and Nakamura match, they made Mandy Rose actually look solid in defeat. So that's another reason why I'm spiking the rating here. So they made this a more competitive and entertaining, solid match than it needed to be. I thought this was going to be an Asuka squash, but no. They actually made Mandy look good, and she has improved leaps and bounds, and she's got a bright future ahead of her. So that's all I can say on that. So I could see maybe within a year or two, maybe there's a chance she could be a future champion within a year or two. She still needs some seasoning, but she has improved noticeably in leaps and bounds. So 2.5 to 2 3/4. That's my rating for the sleeper fight of the night. Didi Woodson, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it about 2.5. It was a solid fight. Only thing I wasn't real crazy about was DeVille coming out at the beginning of before the match started and trying to, knock Asuka down a few pegs before the match even started. I mean, it's her best friend, but she really didn't need to be out there. Strong match. I agree they made Mandy look better than normal, so not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, guys. And, well, there's one match already been announced for next week. Well, a couple of fights that has been announced for next week on SmackDown Live that needs to get some attention, and that was number one, Rusev and Aiden English versus and Lana versus the Usos and Naomi in a 6-person tag. But this one is going to be good. Becky Lynch one-on-one with Charlotte Flair. Oh my goodness. 2 members of the 4 Horsewomen are about to go at it, and it's going to be a buddy bowl. Anthony's Charlotte Flair versus my Becky Lynch. Let's see who comes out on top on this one. And now let's go into the main event of the evening, which was the triple threat match. Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and Big Cass. The winner goes to Money in the Bank, and the winner of the bout in 19 minutes, 33 seconds, and to get the right to go to the Money in the Bank ladder match, a Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, he makes Daniel Bryan tap out to the Coquina clutch, and oddly enough, in the Ring of Honor fight that was 45 minutes long, it was the same ending, the same way it ended, by Coquina clutch tap out victory. So nothing more to say. I believe, Didi, you lead off on this?
No.
No? Anthony? Is it you?
I believe it's me.
All right, then. Give me your thoughts. Joe advances.
Second best fight of the night. I'm going to give this 3.25 to 3.5 stars. It was a decent match, but with Cass involved, Bryan and Joe held something back, which is good. And I cannot wait for them to fight in a singles match, maybe for the title one day, which would be amazing. There was an awesome sequence before the commercial break where Samoa Joe hit Cass with one of his tope suicidas, and Daniel Bryan leaped onto both of them with a crossbody to the outside. Reason why I have to give this the second best fight of the night, there was some clunkiness in this match because Big Cass, in my opinion, as great of a heel as he is still green. But the finish made everything all right in the end. Bryan hit Cass with a running knee, and it seemed like he was about to win, but Joe broke it up, locked in the Coquina clutch, and put Daniel Bryan to sleep in emphatic fashion. Fantastic stuff. Joe's headed to Money in the Bank, and he has to be considered one of the favorites, if not the favorite to win. And other spots in this match I liked were Daniel Bryan's counter of the Coquina clutch into a penny predicament for Joe, and Bryan trying to lock in the yes lock on Big Cass while fatigued. And he was selling how difficult it is to put Cass in a submission hold because Cass's limbs are so long. So that's my take. Those are my takeaways from this. 3.25, 3.5 stars. Second best fight of the night. I would have given it fight of the night, but that 6-man was just too damn good. So nothing more to say here. Great way to cap off an amazing SmackDown Live, and wait till you hear the rating I've got for this. So, Didi Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give it about 3.5 stars. It was a very, very good main event. Yeah, Cass still needs a little bit of work in the singles department. He really didn't get much chance to work on that before the injury, and he's still working on himself as a singles competitor, but still, it was still a good, strong showing for him. Yeah, there was some clunkiness in the match, but all in all, it was a solid main event. So, not much more I have to say about it. Fletch, take it.
3.5 stars. Definitely second best fight of the night. Tremendous way to close the show. Solid fight. Again, I really wish Big Cass was not involved, but it is what it is. We'll live and die with what we got. But more importantly, I think the right man went through. Samoa Joe is deserving of the opportunity. He definitely will be a monster in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And who knows, maybe a favorite to possibly win it all. Because of the fact that with the rivalry with AJ Styles, giving him the Money in the Bank would be a great thing because that would open the door for him to become the #1 contender. Well, not only gives them a guaranteed shot. But with the last man standing fight with him and with Nakamura and Styles happening that night, any SmackDown guy who wins the Money in the Bank, you must really consider long and hard that maybe a fight like this would leave the champion very vulnerable to a Money in the Bank cash in. So I know if Joe wins it, Joe probably would be the one to pull the trigger and say, I'm going for it. So we'll wait and see what happens. But solid way to close the show. Dee Dee, what's an overall review for yourself, my dear? Give me your thoughts.
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. I had a cat fight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I've had my own little wrestling match going on between Callie and Tiger, and I had to separate them, so I've got Mr. Tiger right here. So, we're doing all overalls?
Overall.
Okay. For me, I'm going to give this 7.5 to 8 for SmackDown. It was like I said, it was pretty solid show tonight. As for leading up to Money in the Bank, now that we have Samoa Joe in there, I'm kind of curious to see what happens between Joe and Strowman again, because they're the two biggest favored, I would think, in the ladder match from each brand. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there with them both really seeking to get the title or the contract for the title. So, and they both have had feuds with the title holders. So this will be really, really interesting to see that. Out of the two ladies segments tonight, or match and segment, the match was a lot better. Don't get me started on the segment, because pretty much I think we took a step backwards in the women's revolution for that. But all in all, all the matches were pretty solid. Not much more I have to say about it, so I guess I'll see you all next week. So have a good night. Happy late Memorial Day for those who still celebrating. So, night, guys.
All right, good night, Dee Dee. You know what? I'm gonna partially disagree with Dee Dee. This is 8 to 8.5. I thought this was a very good show. Yes, the only down thing was the dance off, and we're not gonna cover that. However, everything else was boom, bang, bang, bang. Everything was solid to good. There was not one bad match tonight. There was not one bad segment tonight. SmackDown Live hit a home run tonight. They absolutely smashed it. They are flying in the Money in the Bank. They are definitely got the sail at got the wind at the back, and they're just smooth sailing in the Money in the Bank, where Monday Night Raw, they are definitely in choppy waters right now, to say the very least. So Anthony was like, I'm not even gonna challenge SmackDown Live, because he knows they're gonna deliver. There's really nothing bad to say about it. They absolutely did a tremendous job. Anthony, it's all yours.
Nothing left for me to say on this except slight underscore there, MF. I'm giving this 8.5 to 9. That is how good this show was here tonight. I could go 9, 9.5. I have every right to do that, but I'm going 8.5 to 9. Now, I know you and Dee Dee are gonna have I'll tell you what, you and Dee Dee have every right to poo-poo on the dance-off. I get it. But I didn't think it was honestly all that bad, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was as bad as you and Dee Dee made it out to be, MF. I mean, you could call it a cutout segment. It's your show, but if it was my show, I probably would have called it a cutout out of respect for you and Dee Dee, but I would have gone into it. I thought it was actually really, really good. And me being the red-blooded American male that I am, seeing those two beauties, oh my goodness. I mean, that was fun for me, if I'm going to be real honest with you. And you know, our favorite band, MF, the Eagles, they did a song a number of years ago called "I Love to Watch a Woman Dance." Well, I swear that song was playing in my mind when I was seeing Lana and Naomi do their thing tonight. So, wow, that was really, really well done. So, I know there are going to be those who are going to poo-poo all over it, like MF and Dee Dee. I get it, and the whole 9 yards. But for me, that dance-off was not as bad as people think it was. It was more entertaining than I initially thought it was going to be. To sum it all up, the segment was entertaining and better than it had any right to be. And me being the red-blooded American male that I am, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, fight of the night, that 6-man tag, you got to go out of your way to see that, my friends. That was incredible. Main event, if Big Cass wasn't involved, that probably would have been the fight of the night. But since Cass got cleared, well, it was still good. But Mandy and Asuka, surprisingly solid match. That was better than I thought it would be. Nakamura and Dillinger, another very good match. I mean, nothing on this show sucked, unlike last night when how many things on that show sucked? Like 4 or 5 things. The two biggest there were a lot of low points on Raw last night, but the two biggest were the B team, that little B team barbecue nonsense, and of course the gift that keeps on giving, which is those painful Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley segments. And then we had our cutout matches as usual. And did you honestly expect SmackDown Live to suck tonight? No. Raw was 5 to 5 1/4. SmackDown Live absolutely knocked them into the middle of next week, as Gorilla Monsoon would say. I'm just going to do it. Solid 9 out of 10. Maybe even 9.5. One of the best SmackDowns, if not the best SmackDown Live of 2018. And as a Raw guy, you guys deserve it, man. Hats off to you. You whooped our ass again. So I'm not at all surprised. But next week, you know what's on Raw next week. We got a loaded lineup next week. You already know the story. Go to my channel and watch the end of Ridiculously Raw when I set that sucker up. So nothing more to say here. 9 and 9.5 out of 10. That's my rating. MF, RWA Dynasty. I'm ready to hear about it. How'd it go?
All right. Well, first off, I got to say, I got so much love for the RWA guys. I need to actually appreciate and show a lot of love. And on top of that, I also need to give a lot of love to I actually finally got to meet Corey Lincor, the Dave Meltzer of RWA, and him and I kind of really started out having, a very good, conversation during the night, and it's two worlds colliding, like they always say. Corey Lincor has become the guy who normally is the recapper from RWA. He normally recaps all the shows, so this is where I get all my info from. And of course, Corey knows that I cover promoting the show, talking about the shows, so he knows me on a personal basis like that. And as another person who saw me in the crowd knows me really well, because I used to work with Project Zero Wrestling. Todd Graham actually met me at the Chop Shop, and he was also, even though we didn't get a chance to say hey, or we didn't get a chance to personally say hello, but it was a very good situation, and it was really cool to see all the RWA guys. They miss me, man. They were like, it was about freaking time you showed up. Well, my work commitments beyond my control, and a lot of stuff has been going on in my life that I kind of want to leave in the down low, but it is what it is. So let's go right into the RWA Dynasty. I know you guys have been waiting for it. We started the show off with the ace Mike Montero. He goes one-on-one against Brendao Davis. Mike Montero wins the match. Solid fight. I could say this was at least a 2-star fight. It was a good way to start the show. Then T Phoenix came out and basically issues an open challenge to anybody in the wrestling world. And says that he would like to see them fight Mike Montero on the first night of Legacy. He even went as far to call out JT Dunn. And okay, the last time JT Dunn and Mike Montero fought one-on-one was for the RWA Hype Championship. And it was a 5-star classic. I mean, it was epic. It was unbelievable. What a match it was. So, definitely a solid fight. We'll see what happens at Legacy when that goes down next month. Second fight of the night, my boy, my man, Jack Connor goes one-on-one with Cipriano Abruzzi, and Jack Connor wins it. But I gotta say, Chris Sterling give a major assist. Let's just say there was a little bit of a miscommunication between Cipriano and Sterling that gave Jack Connor the opening to get the 1-2-3 and the victory. Dissension among the ranks in the foundation. The cracks are starting to be seen. Nothing more to say about that. A good win for Jack Connor. He's on a good winning streak lately. I think he's won like 3 or 4 in a row now for Jack Connor. Give the guy a title shot, man. Give him a shot at either the Hype Championship. I know Triple Crown's a little bit dicey right now, even though he's a former Triple Crown champion in his own right. So we'll see what happens. But Jack Connor definitely deserves the love. Give him the appreciation. Big win for him as well. Fight number 3. One of the members of Pumpalicious, Eddie Vegas, one-on-one against Dan Terry. Dan Terry, he wins the match in the most emphatic way you can do it. Roll up, pulling of the tights, hanging on the ring rope for the 1-2-3, the Tony special. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. And this was, if Anthony was here, he probably would have done his Jesse Body Ventura. While I'd probably be yelling like Gorilla Monsoon saying what a miscarriage of justice that was. So, yeah, Dan Terry gets the victory. Nothing more to say. The next thing we had was Davey Cash ripping on the fans, talking about that, he's the real, that he classified himself the king of RWA, which actually brought out King Leon VI. These two men started going into a little bit of a tit for tat, which brought out Theodore J. Liftington and Solly Banger, and we ended up getting a tag team fight out of this. King Leon VI and Davey Cash versus Solly Banger and Theodore J. Liftington. And unfortunately for us, the heels get the victory. King Leon VI and Davey Cash gets I guess you could say a dual pin. And, well, yeah, they got the victory there. So nothing more to say about it. So the next thing we had was a tag team fight, which was Tom Billington and the Unbalanced Messiah Christopher Dozier versus Izzy Starr and the Insane Dick Lane. When it was all said and done, the fight gets thrown out because the Insane Dick Lane literally went insane. Beat the living daylights out of Tom Billington. Just beats him down to a bloody pulp, and basically the referee was trying to get Dick Lane to basically get off him. He shoves him out of the way. That's a major no-no. Referee says, that's it. I've seen enough. Ring the bell. It's done. DQ. Billington and Dozier wins. And then Dick Lane goes berserk and issues a challenge to Tom Billington at Legacy one-on-one. And Tom Billington has indeed accepted. Well, actually, no. Christopher Dozier accepted the challenge on the behalf of Tom Billington. So we got that. So the next thing we had was Vinny Abruzzi versus Chris Sterling one-on-one, and Vinny Abruzzi wins thanks to Cipriano interfering and definitely widening the problems within the family between the foundation. Chris Sterling and Cipriano Abruzzi went at it, started pushing and shoving each other. That prompted the other members of the foundation to jump into the ring and break it up. Well, we'll wait and see what happens there. It looks like Chris Sterling and Cipriano Abruzzi might have to settle their differences in the middle of the ring. Next thing we had was the RWA Tag Team title fight on the line. Ha Coco versus the Middlesex Express. And the Middlesex Express wins the match. They successfully defend the titles because Devin Baker showed up and beat the living daylights out of Justin Sylvia, basically saying that he's sick and tired of children earning these title shots in RWA, basically that the opportunity should be for him and him alone. He basically pulled a Bully Ray and basically is trying to downgrade the young talent in RWA, which absolutely left a bitter taste in my mouth. I was definitely high on Hot Coco. I really thought they were going to win the belts, and what a robbery, to say the very least. Okay, so the next fight we had was Shay Cass versus Sean Lader versus David Baker. Triple threat match. Now, this is different because the winner of the fight and the man who did not get pinned, or who is not the loser in the match, you would have to move on and you would fight for the right to fight for the Triple Crown Championship. Now, what they do is they'll have a one-on-one match at night 1 of Legacy, because it's a 2-night event, and the winner of that fight on night 1 advances to night 2, and they fight for the Triple Crown title, whoever the champion may be going into that title. So, what happens here was Shay Cash wins, Sean Lader got pinned. Therefore, at Legacy, it will be David Baker one-on-one with Shay Cash, and the winner goes on to night 2, and they fight, and the winner will fight for the Triple Crown Championship in night number 2. All right, so the next up we had was Kellen Thomas versus Todd Harris for the RWA Hype Championship. Kellen Thomas wins the match, successfully defends the title, but there was a little bit of some controversy about this because, okay, from my vantage point and Corey Lincourt, we actually disagreed. I saw both shoulders down for the 1, 2, 3. He saw Kellen Thomas's left shoulder up, and that it was a clean victory for him. But it looked too close for me, and I tried to ask for a replay or if anybody else had the video for it, and unfortunately they didn't. So I thought both shoulders were down on both men, but they gave the win to Kellen Thomas and said that he successfully defended the title. I don't know. Good fight, solid match, but we'll wait and see what happens there. The next fight of the night was a tag team fight, Mike Rassa and T Phoenix versus Nick Marchand and Jimmy Hansen. Mike Rassa and T Phoenix gets the win, and Mike Rassa, oh my God, what a move he did. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen next, because man alive, we'll have to wait and see what happens, because now there's a rumor uh, that we might see. Well, we're going to see what happens here. This was an interesting match, solid fight, excellent battle, to say the very least. Now we go to the main event of the evening, the triple threat match for the RWA Triple Crown Championship. The champion, Chris Cruz, versus Jason Devine. He was the man that was selected by T Phoenix. The Foundation gives Alex Corvus the opportunity, the winner of the bout, and still the RWA Triple Crown champion, Chris Cruz. What a match. Fight of the night for me. Excellent main event, to say the very least. But then a whole bunch of chaos broke out after the fight was over. Jason Devine gets jumped by the Foundation. Vinny Abruzzi comes in to try to break it up. Then T Phoenix came in to try to save. And then AJ Phoenix, now he is the son of T Phoenix. AJ Phoenix comes in, jumps over the guardrail, and here's the thing: he was chilling with us the whole night. He was in the same row that me and Corey was in. He was in the front row. Corey was in the front row. I was basically behind Corey watching the action, and AJ got really pissed, started yelling, screaming, grabs a chair, hops over the guardrail, runs into the ring, chases the Foundation out of the ring, and then he grabs the same steel chair and bashes his father over the head with it. He went full-fledged heel. AJ Phoenix is a member of the Foundation. The same group that wants to destroy the RWA, the prodigal son, is now a part of that group. T Phoenix was left in a pool of his own blood. Crimson mask over the forehead. Yeah. I could just leave it there. I could probably hear Anthony Florio with his what? Oh yeah. It got that real. Whew. That's it, guys. There's really nothing more for me to say. I can't wait. Next month is Legacy, a 2-night event at the RWA Chop Shop. We will definitely get a lot more of this down the line. And on top of that, I do want to give a major shout out to Todd Graham, Corey Lincourt, and all the guys at the RWA. You guys there's nothing to say. You guys made me feel right at home as usual. Thank you so much as always. There's really nothing bad to say. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. You guys have done so good for me and everything else. And actually, as an added bonus, I wasn't going to do this, but because Corey did go to the Level 1 show, and I used to be the guy to promote Project Zero Wrestling, and plus I want to give a lot of love to the Proving Ground boys. Here's your results for Proving Ground. Level 1, which was the next night. Now, of course, I can only give you the winners because I can't give you the like full-on results. So here's how it went. First fight of the night was the Terror Tom Billington. He went one-on-one with T Phoenix, and Tom Billington gets the victory. Big win for Tom Billington. Second fight of the night was King Leon VI. He went one-on-one with Sally Banger, and King Leon VI got the win on that. Third fight of the night was Calvin Campbell, and he went up against Charmin Thomas and Calvin Campbell, or Foxy Calvin Campbell, got the victory. In the fourth fight of the night, it was Richie Sick. Now, I know this man from Project Zero Wrestling. Richie Sick went one-on-one with Tim Davidson in a casket match, and Richie Sick wins the match. And let me tell you, Corey actually has gone on record and called it one of the most bloodiest, most violent matches he's ever seen in wrestling, and I wish I was here to see it. He was like, if you're an ECW fan, you would have loved this fight. This was for the East out there. The next thing we had was a six-pack challenge, an elimination fight. Kevin Giles, Tommy Corbin, Theodore J. Liftington, Crispin Coles, Tony the Tuna, and Tony Spencer. When it was all said and done, Calvin Giles wins it all. So good for him. Congratulations. The next thing we had was the Middlesex Express putting the New England Tag Team titles on the line against the Stormbreakers. The Middlesex Express successfully defend the titles there. Then we had a match. It was the Insane Dick Lane versus Derek Simonetti. I guess it was a title for title match. Well, the fight ended in a time limit draw, so both men get to keep their respective belts. However, the Middlesex Express attacked them at the end of the match, and at the next Elk Mania show, I believe it's going to be a tag team title fight, so we'll see what happens there. Shady Cash went up against the Suplex Sweetheart Asana. Shady Cash wins the match, and in the main event of the evening, the Freak Show Sean Leader versus the Ace Mike Montero. Sean Leader wins the match, and this is according to Corey. This is from Corey Lincore himself. He's calling this a Fight of the Year candidate. Fight of the Year candidate. Called it an amazing main event. One of the best main events he's ever seen in the Chop Shop, and one of the best finishes he has seen ever. He is definitely that's huge for Corey Lincore, the Dave Meltzer of the Chop Shop, to call that a Fight of the Year and a 5-star classic. Go out of your way to watch that fight, folks, when it hits on YouTube.com very, very soon. All right, guys, so that's it. We're done for the night. And Anthony, it's all yours, my friend. So give me your thoughts.
Thoughts on the Mikey's mindset?
Well, not on the Mikey's mindset, but what? Yeah.
Right now, I got to be honest. There is a church service scheduled for Friday night, and those things usually traditionally go rather late. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be there yet. I have to wait and see what the story is, and I'll definitely know around tomorrow night. We might have to move the show. I don't know, maybe to Thursday or Saturday, because Bullock's not going to be on either, because of course he's going to be part of the Special Olympics State Summer Games, the 50th anniversary of that. So, but I do have the docket though. And we're going to get into that right now. I don't know if MF heard about it last night, because I know he left the show as I was doing this. So we got a big announcement, MF, but I'm going to get into that in just a minute. And I want you to hear that big announcement, because this is a biggie. But here's the docket for this week. Sports gambling becomes legal. The NFL's new policy on the national anthem protest. The Sterling Brown arrest video. A preview of the NBA Finals, which, yet again, is the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. What else is new? And then, of course, we will have our newest Major League Baseball power rankings. That's for this week. Now, MF, get ready for this, because you missed this announcement last night because you left the show as I was wrapping up. You're going to love this. The next Strictly Sports after this, which will be on Friday night, June 8th. Get ready for this, MF. You're going to love this. A very special edition of Strictly Sports. twice over. Number one, the Strictly Sports Show on Friday, June 8th is going to be, are you ready for this, MF? A special 2018 FIFA World Cup preview show. How about that? And you thought, oh, wow, it can't get any bigger than that. Yes, it does. Our Imperial Grand Poobah is coming to pay us a visit. Oh, yes. Derek Ferreira is going to be on the show as well. So, nothing more to say. I'll let you know. We'll try to get something worked out. We might have to move the show either the Thursday or maybe even Saturday. We'll figure it out. But if my plans fall through on Friday, then we'll have the show on Friday. I'll definitely know tomorrow night. But that's the docket for now. But MF, I mean, how do you follow that? A FIFA World Cup show next week, and Derek's going to be on. How do you follow that, man? Wrap it up, and we'll see. We'll see you when we see you.
All right, and I'm very excited as well. You guys know how deep I am into the World Cup soccer as well. If you most notably know my little rant about the United States not making it, and I definitely have a lot of thoughts about the upcoming FIFA World Cup, and I can't wait to cover that with Derek as well, as always. And that's going to be an amazing show, to say the very least. So yeah, all right, so you guys are going to have to keep a close watchful eye, I guess. We don't know if it's going to be this Friday, maybe this Saturday. You don't know. We'll wait and see what happens then. But I'll say this. For Anthony Florio, for Didi Woodson, I'm Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. And so long for now. Bye-bye.